And as Donald Trump has now assumed the office of president, the questioning of cabinet nominees continues on Capitol Hill. Now, most U.S. attorneys appointed by President Joe Biden are stepping down. The move is not uncommon when there's a political shift in leadership, and that includes Biden appointee Brandon Brown, the U.S. attorney for the Western District of Louisiana, which includes Shreveport. In an exclusive interview with KSLA, Dominic Benn spoke with Brown about his upbringing with a police officer for a father and an educator as a mother, the victories, the challenges, and what's next.
U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Louisiana, Brandon Brown, has spent the past few days packing up his office as he prepares to step down today. The move is not uncommon when national political leadership shifts, and during his tenure as United States Attorney, Brown served as the chief law enforcement officer in the Western District of Louisiana, which includes 42 of the state's 64 parishes. And while wrapping up his duties, Brown was surprised with an appreciation gathering by his Shreveport office at Cassandra's on the River, and a full circle moment for him last Thursday when his Lafayette office named him a recipient of the Leading in Love Award, an award he created to give to employees annually.
The Leading in Love Award, I try to look to a veteran of the office that pours his or her heart out every day as they walk through these doors of the Department of Justice here.
The son of a Monroe police officer and educator, Brandon Brown had his sights on law enforcement, but his fraternity brothers at Southern University urged him to go into law instead.
They continued to ride me about it. I applied and ended up getting accepted into Southern, and the rest is history.
Brown went back home to Monroe to practice law in the district attorney's office. In 2012, then U.S. Attorney Stephanie Finley hired him to become an assistant U.S. attorney based in Shreveport.
Did you ever think that you would become the lead prosecutor in this office when you stepped into this office in 2012?
No, because I've never been, I never considered myself an out front person. I've been a worker bee, all of my career, and even in high school and college, I never sought the limelight. I just kind of kept my head down and took care of business.
But in 2020, after President Joe Biden was elected, Brown's name was buzzing among U.S. senators and other top U.S. leaders. And after a long vetting process, he was nominated. Senators confirmed him to the top position. In the Western District, he oversaw 90 people between two main offices in Shreveport and Lafayette and other satellite offices. Under his direction, one of the biggest takedowns for this office when dozens of gang members were indicted for using PPP loan money to fund their criminal enterprise.
Very talented prosecutors and investigators put that investigation together, and it was very helpful and I think an eye-opener to the public, and really I think started kind of getting the public interested in what we were doing over here at the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Just last Friday, a Shreveport man and two women were sentenced to federal prison for their involvement in conspiracy to distribute fentanyl, resulting in death.
And that's been one of Merrick Garland's hallmarks. Attacking fentanyl, the fentanyl trade, fentanyl distribution. It's the most dangerous drug in the history of our nation. So we adopted the case from the state. They turned it over to us, and we got the conviction.
As Brandon Brown steps down, he's already gotten offers to join different firms in the area.
What I am struggling with is, look, I'm a prosecutor, career public servant, pretty much, and I'm still trying to figure out ways I can, how can Brandon Brown help law enforcement be better? How can he promote the necessity of law enforcement? And how can he fight human trafficking in the private sector? How can he fight the war on fentanyl and drug addiction and all that? How can he do that, not in a government or prosecutive role? Yeah. And I'm praying about how I can kind of insert myself into that equation from the private sector. So I'm looking forward to that.
In Shreveport, Dominic Benn, KSLA News 12.
And in the meantime, Brown says his family is busy getting ready to welcome a new baby girl in about 5 weeks. And Alexander Van Hook will serve as the interim U.S. Attorney for the Western District. And Van Hook will serve until President Trump appoints a replacement. And we'll have more KSLA News 12 at 6 after the break.